Welcome to another episode of Unbound Book Babes. This week we're going to talk about some book releases in the month of September and also some things to read to get into the spooky season vibes. So, Kristin?
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
There's some new thrillers that are coming out in September. So these are added to my TBR. So I haven't read them yet because they're brand new. But this is what's going to be on my TBR for September. So the first one is Suddenly a Murder by Lauren Munoz. And it is a graduation. It's a party for a graduation. And it's 1920s themed in a mansion. Very Great Gatsby vibes.
Heck yeah.
And it's followed. And and then there's a murder. So then they're all trapped in the mansion in their 1920s themed party while they investigate.
Cool.
So I love The Great Gatsby, so that one was instantly added to my TBR.
I love murder mysteries too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a good one. Do you remember The Great Gatsby when he used to stand out and look at the little green light on her dock?
Yeah.
Across the lake? Isn't it funny how that translated so perfectly into like 2023, where you stare at your crush's green dot while they're online?
Yep.
Like, not talking to you.
That's hilarious.
Who would have thought that that little green dot transcends generations? The next one is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. The father and the son suddenly go missing, and it gets very interesting because while they're looking for them, they unravel a bunch of family secrets. And who doesn't love a good unraveling of all your family secrets? Now, this last one, do you remember in the news when they said that those guys were on a research in Antarctica, and one of them stabbed the other one because he kept giving away the endings to all the books he was picking up?
Yeah.
So this one is, I'm guessing, similar to that because it's the title is This Is How We End Things by R.J. Jacobs. And it's a psychological thriller about a group of grad students that go to do research in the woods, but they get snowed in and one of them dies. So they have to figure out, well, he's probably murdered, but so they have to figure out who killed him while they're trapped in a snowstorm. So yeah, they all come out in September and instant ads.
Oh, nice. So I have a couple different books that are being released in September that I wanted to cover, and there's a couple for each week. So this first week, on the 5th, C.J. Archer's The Untitled books came out, and I already finished it.
Love C.J. Archer. I'm trying to work through all of hers. She's great.
She is fantastic. This was no exception to that rule. I devoured it. My mom read it in a day because I texted her the day it came out.
How long is it?
I don't know, between 250 and 300 pages.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent one-day read.
Yeah, it's just, they're so easy to digest too, and they're fun to read, and they're engaging. So they're always palate cleansers, and they have to deal with murder mysteries most of the time. Or something along those lines, but I'm telling you, it's a good one, and I am so impatient. I love C.J. Archer, but she is the queen of slow burn romantic tension between characters, and sometimes I just am okay, fucking get on with it, girl. I want them to be together. The next one is Charlaine Harris, All the Dead Shall Weep. And this is a Gunnie Rose. This is the 5th book in the Gunnie Rose series. And it's actually a series that I've had my eye on for a very long time. I believe she's some type of agent, either solving crimes or something like that, or spy. I can't remember, but I have had this like series on my TBR for a while, but knowing it was not really finished, and like I've been kind of holding off because I'm notorious for starting something thinking it's a standalone, and it's not. So now that the fifth one's
worst.
I know, it's so bad.
You're like, oh, it's so fun, I'm done. Oh, it's ended on a cliffhanger. I'm sucked in.
Yep. So that is, I need to just start reading them. I'll probably do it in the new year. So for the week of September 12th, so the week we're coming into here, and that these episodes will be posted on, this one's going to be a big one because Jennefier L. Armentrout is a huge author in the community. And Fall of Ruin and Wrath comes out, and this is part of a series. So Fall of Ruin and Wrath, I just looked it up because I wasn't sure. I don't think it is part of a series. I think it's the beginning of a new one.
Even worse.
She is an author that I have not read, and I know. I'm late to the party. I get it, guys. I know. I'm late to every party, okay? And so I really
it's fashionable to be late.
Good, because I'm high fashion then. I really want to read her stuff, so I don't know. If you know, leave a comment. Let everybody else in the community know. But the cover looks, aesthetically, she has similar covers for some of her books, which makes sense because a lot of them are series. So I think this might be new. Based on my quick Google search, it seems to be so. Another book that comes out is Dreambound, and it's a novel, and it's by Dan Frey. But it is supposed to be like a thriller / contemporary fantasy set in LA where his daughter goes missing, and he's trying to investigate this magical underbelly of Los Angeles to find her.
Ooh.
I know. I said,
that sounds fun.
That sounds very fun.
And I'm guessing that's a standalone?
Yeah, novel. Yep.
Love it.
So this next one is by Hanna Kenner. It's called Godkiller. It's also a novel. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. The whole reason...
The title has you hooked.
Title, but look at the cover. The cover has like a stag and like this tree and this whimsically looking aesthetic. And I'm just like, the title, this cover... I don't know what it's about. I want to read it, kind of thing.
Yep. Here for it.
Yeah.
Here for it. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but when the cover looks like that, how can you help yourself?
Yeah. Ooh, this next one is by Anna Smith Spark, A Sword of Bronze and Ashes. And the cover on it says poetic folk horror fantasy.
Folk horror? Folklore.
Folk horror fantasy.
Horror.
Yeah, like
horror.
Scary.
Okay.
Horror. Yeah. Horror, as in WH. No. It's H.
I was like, I don't know what folk horror. I do know what folk horror fantasy is. I don't know. I'm here for both of them. I didn't even need clarification. I'm here for it.
Yes. So when I read that, I was like immediately interested. Thought that would be a really cool recommendation going into spooky season. So
yeah.
Just heck yeah. This next one comes out the week of September 19th, so the third week of September, and it's by Victor. What? I just combined both his names. I'm so sorry. It's by...
He is his own couple.
Yes. Victor Dixen. It's called A Court of Shadows, and it's about vampires. A king turns a god, a light god, into like a shadow god, and it's set in times of vampires. That's basically all I got from the snippet I was looking at. But I love vampires, and I love shadow daddies. So I was like, let me just write this one down.
Yep.
So the next one is by, how would you pronounce Gry? Gray? Gray?
Right?
Gray? Yeah. Gray Keppel Jensen. Roses
Oh,
and
maybe it is
Violets.
Gray.
Gray. Sorry, man. Mr.
Gray.
Keppel.
I feel like it's gray without a vowel.
Cool. Gray. I mean, there's a Y.
So why is there only sometimes vowels?
Okay, fair. Roses and Violets.
Honestly, sorry, I'll let you get into it. But I was just thinking that, like, there's gray, Grey, Gray, and this just removes the question of which letter you're supposed to have in there, an A or an E. It's just none of them.
Perfect. And so Roses and Violets is 4 friends going to a boarding school for magic.
Ooh, only bad stuff happens at boarding schools. Look at Harry Potter.
Is it magic? I'm sorry. Yeah, School for Magic, deeply embedded in Nordic mythology, nature magic, and shamanism. And I'm like, hell yeah. Yep.
I love all those words.
I love all of them. It's a trilogy, and this is number 1 in the trilogy, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a tough decision. Do you put on... I mean, you could just put it on the TBR now, but now I gotta wait.
Right. Mm-hmm. This next one is by V.E. Schwab, who is another author that I really, really want to read. And the name of this book is The Fragile Threads of Power. Threads of Power, Book 1. So it's going to be a series. Mm-hmm. But it talks about how there was, like, it's set in London. There were 4 worlds. And then this person kind of gets, like, thrown into this mystical world and these powers and stuff like that. So it's a fantasy. Almost all of these are fantasy because that's what I like. So, I'm super interested in this series, but he actually has a different series that I've been wanting to read forever. The Shades of Magic books, A Darker Shade of Magic is the first one, and I really, really want to read that. The covers are so cool. Here, I'll show you. So this is The Darker Shade of Magic. This is a series that I first saw that I really, really, really wanted to read from him.
I just want to see the cover. I don't want to... You're Googling what an adjective is.
Yeah, because I was like, what? I can't remember. Also, it was a very early morning, and I haven't had coffee today, and it's 10:30. Life choices were done in the wrong order today.
Anyways, can you send me that definition? Because I, too, don't know what an adjective is.
I was like, contextually, I know, like, yellow, but I know there's other ones besides colors. So let me look up some definition here. So that's actually all I had for book releases for the month of September. Again, a lot of them are fantasy books. There's always so many books coming out. I just wanted to focus on one category right now because this is, there's several on here that I know I want to read. So kind of how you went about your thriller suggestions for spooky season. It's like what you're adding to your TBR. So I want to keep track of all of these written down somewhere so I can come back and say, yep, I want those. Probably should update my Goodreads to include all of these as well.
Wow, that's a lot of books in September. I wish reading was my full-time job, but my full-time job is going to get in the way of my TBR.
Yes, it's bullshit. and it sucks because, like, this week we have to work on Sunday, so it really gets in my way because, like, Sunday is my day to, like, be able to read quite a bit. And now I'm gonna be driving and working, and it sucks.
I know.
I get to see you in person,
just need
though.
I know, it's how exciting.
Yes.
For a whole week.
It's gonna get weird, y'all.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, and you'll get to, like, hang out with Jacob, because you've met him in person once, but it was like for like a dinner or whatever. So you'll actually he's going to be with me the whole week. So you'll get to properly hang out with him and meet him. So, and then people can stop thinking we're gay together. It'll be great.
I don't think that'll stop them, but I
Fair
love
enough.
the fantasy world you live in.
Thank you. I do too. It's great. So that is all for this episode of this week's Chat and News. We wanted to cover some good books that you could read going into the fall season. That could be fun for you. Look out for the next episode later this week, which is going to be us doing Mad Libs of SJM stuff. So it's bound to be a good one. So until then, we'll see you.